to all my Flosstube neighbors, and thank you for joining me once again on this very, very special Flosstube video. Very special day. I'm so happy to have you with me on my birthday. Today is my birthday. And I'm 50 years old. Oh, I just put that out for all the world to see and hear. So thank you very much for spending time with me today. If you are a new viewer, I'm so glad that you found me on this particular day. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you like what you see. I hope you want to stick around and will like the video and subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so that you can be notified when I'm doing things. This is a channel primarily about cross-stitch, but there's more to my channel than just cross-stitch. If you're a returning viewer, you're the greatest in the world, and you know it. And I cherish my neighborhood of viewers and friends. So thank you for being here on a very special day. There's a lot to today. I've had a great week of stitching, although most of it was focused on one project. I have managed to hit a few other things, and I had a wonderful week of happy mail. And first, we always begin with things from last week's episode. So this is going to be a little different because I don't have my little iPad in front of me. I'm going off my laptop today to do my little Q notes. But it's unfortunate. First of all, where are you, Christopher? What's going on? Well, here's the thing. Where I normally film at this point in the day, there's blaring light coming through the window, and it's not conducive to filming. I did it for my last video, and the way the side light was hitting me, I looked something akin to the Crypt Keeper. So I decided to go with a little bit of a different, although today, as I'm looking at myself, I'm looking very austere. I'm looking like I'm 50, I suppose. But I decided to change it up. And I also thought that it would be nice to kind of go back to the place where it all started, right here. Right here in my little stitching room study. But I am not in front of my piece of teak driftwood. You guys are so creative, and you come up with so many amazing names for handstand cat, which is at the top of the driftwood, putting in a picture of that now. Handstand cat, you have given me, like, seriously tons and tons and tons of names. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a poll, and next week I'm going to post all the names somehow. I think there's a way I can do it here on YouTube, and I'm going to have you vote. And I have written down the names of all the people who have suggested the names. I'm not going to put the names with the suggestions, and whichever is the winning name, the person or persons who suggested it are going to receive a special little gift from me in the form of a happy mail. But that will be coming next week, so stay tuned. Along with handstand cat, so many of you have seen different things in Tiki. We have had the upside down rubber glove mystery, which we solved. But some of you have seen other things in Tiki. Some, I have pictures for some of these and others I don't. One, WENDY E saw a lovely dead mouse hanging by its tail, which I'm glad I never saw. A dead mouse hanging by its tail, yeah. But another of my viewers, Linda M, saw the donkey from Shrek, actually. And I can see that. I'm going to bring Handstand Cat back. And you can actually, I see the donkey from Shrek in Tiki. I do. It's there. totally there. I love it. Pam E saw something that I wish I could unsee. It's fine. But she saw a spooky face. And I can see that too, can't you? Mm-hmm. Frightening. And then Sherry C saw a beautiful, this is actually the same place as the rubber glove and the same place as the mouse, the dead mouse hanging by its tail. She saw a white kitty cat. And I can see that too, that white kitty cat there. So last week when I talked briefly about the tremendous gift that was given to me by my viewer, Aida, I mentioned briefly that another viewer had actually suggested the idea of the daffodil sal, the daffodil stitch along that we will be doing this spring. And I didn't have her name in front of me, but the credit, to be fair, has to go to my viewer, Leslie B from Aloe Stitches. Leslie B wrote me a sweet note and suggested the daffodil sal. It was not my original idea. I will not take credit for it. It's the inspiration of those two lovely viewers, Aida and Leslie, that has prompted that, and that we will be doing in the springtime. So thank you again, Aida, for the amazing chart that I'm still holding on to. I'm not going to reveal it until later. Until next spring. And thank you, Leslie, for the wonderful suggestion that so many of you have said, I'm there when you do it. So I'm really excited about it. And I'm also going to try to tie it to some sort of charitable organization. It'll be a thing. So next spring, we can all look forward to that. So thank you very much for that. I have one really quick question and answer. I should have done it last week. And it's from my viewer, KRISTI P. KRISTI P asked, how much time on average a day or a week do you spend stitching? And I think, as with everyone, it varies. It varies according to what's going on in my life. It varies according to what particular kind of day I'm having or what I'm stitching on at the time. I'm lucky I have a goodly amount of time to stitch, but I would say average 2 hours a day. Some days more, the weekends it's longer, and some days it's shorter, but I try to stitch at least every day. And to be fair, it's probably longer than that. It's probably longer than that, because what I'll do is I have my stitching set up, usually here or at my table, and I will stitch and be listening to Flosstube, and then the laundry will ding and I'll go swap it out, and then I'll stitch and whatever, and then I'll get up and I'll, sweep the floor, mop the floor. It's just a different, it depends, but I'm stitching throughout those chores daily. So it very well could be longer than 2 hours, but I'm just going to say that to be safe. But thank you for the question. I love stitching, obviously, don't we all? And I've never really, might be interesting to just time it one day. Maybe I'll time it and revise my answer, but there you go, KRISTI, thank you for the question. So, on to the cross stitching. Today I have a finish among finishes. It is, I'm incredibly proud of it, and I'm thrilled. And if you follow me on Instagram, you already know what this is going to be. But this is a big one, and this is the Wizard of Oz Secret Stitch Along by Satsuma Street. It's done. It's done, and I love it. Of course, I'm going to go in with closer up photos. But this was, this was such a journey. And it's amazing how, as I was finishing this piece, I was thinking about what was going on when I was stitching each of these panels. And I was thinking about what was on my floss tube and what was on my television and what I was thinking about what I was going through, and it really struck me how there is a life invested in each of the pieces that we stitch, and they each have a story, and they each will have memories attached to them. This will forever be attached to this Flosstube channel and you all, and this period in my life. And I think that makes them all the more special. But this thing was so much fun to stitch. Of course, it's by Satsuma Street. This will be available if you want to stitch it. It is a big project, and there's a lot of stitches in it. And, you know, had I ventured into this without the structure and discipline of the releases and the wanting to keep up, I can see how this would have taken probably much longer to do. But I love it so much. And it brings me to a question that I want to ask each and every one of you. I'm going to put this down for just a second. Hold on. Magic. Isn't that amazing how that just can happen? I think it's remarkable. It can happen in other ways too. It can happen even quicker. Watch this. That used to just be the greatest thing on Bewitched. Or I Dream of Jeannie. She did it with a doink. Ow. My ponytail is nailed to the back of my head, so it didn't do the thing. It's good, it probably would have taken out the camera. Anyway, back. Tangent. That is a really important piece, The Wizard of Oz, and I do not want to frame it myself. However, I also don't really have a local LNS here in Los Angeles that I've ever used to frame stitching. So this is my question to you, and I know you'll have answers for this. If you live in the Los Angeles or surrounding area and you know of a place that does good cross-stitch framing, could you let me know that? Or B, and this is what I really want to know about because I'm curious, and it's kind of what I'm leaning towards doing if it's possible. Can I send that to an LNS that you guys recommend, have them frame it, and ship it back? I'm sure that can happen. Does that happen? Would you be afraid of doing that? I'm not so worried about shipping it. I think that, you know, it would break my heart if it were lost. But, you know, I think pretty much the way most of our shipping methods nowadays are reasonably safe. So what would you do if you were me? My inclination is not to take it to like Michael's, unless some of you who live in LA know of a Michael's that has done stitching framing for you and you like it. So that's something I need to know from you. So if you'll let me know that, I will really, really appreciate it. But that is my big finish for the week, and I am just over the moon happy with it. The other thing that I worked on this week for a good amount of time was my second stitch along. It was my second stitch along, but I finished the first one, so now it's the oldest stitch along, or the whatever. Sometimes I just think to myself, stop talking. When Witches Go Riding. This is Tiny Modernist's Halloween stitch along. And it is so much fun to do. It's such a different style from The Wizard of Oz, and it's one that I like quite a lot. Cute little, by the way, creative country girl that I mentioned last week, who sent me the Tammy at Creative Country Girl, who sent me the gorgeous project bags. This is the little needle minder. It's a little bug. And I'm wondering, is that a cicada? That's not a cicada. I know she went to StitchCon and there was all this cicada stuff, but I think that this is a scarab, which I kind of love. Ancient Egypt kind of thing. Anyway, When Witches Go Riding, we have the second chapter for this already, and I am behind. I will eventually catch up, but I'm not so worried about it. I finished one stitch along in time. I may be a little bit behind, but I've made a decision about this piece. I'm gonna get a darker gray. I have already ordered from some more Sulky in some darker grays to choose from the Cottage Needle in Oregon. The Cottage Needle is a great LNS on Etsy. Rochelle has, she's just wonderful, and I really encourage you to check out that Etsy store. She's fantastic and has been so kind to me. But I've got that on the way. And the reason I'm saying that is the gray in this is in two areas. It's in the Angel, which I've held off on. And it's also, see how in her broom, you can't even see the back of her broom in this particular tone of gray? I need to go darker. I need to go darker with it, or a different color. So I'm already going to do that. That's why I've held off anything with this color gray. I'm waiting to do. But I did more of the stitching, and I'm progressing on that, and it's fine. I like it a lot. My holes here are starting to fade. I'm happy about that. I also managed to touch Halloween Cat by Satsuma Street again. This is slow going, you guys. This is slow going because I get, most of my stitching this week was finishing the Wizard of Oz because that central panel was a bear. There was a lot of stitches and a lot of color changes, and the Emerald City section was, lots of, anyway. And then I went to When Witches Go Riding because I felt like I needed to catch up a little bit, and then I've got a start coming up that I'm going to show you, but Halloween Cat, I touched her a little bit more. I didn't finish. I worked on the top of the crescent, and that was all nice and good. And so she had a little more work done to her. On August 1st, I had a start to begin the month. And it is surprisingly not a Halloween stitch. Now, all of my Halloween stitches have been under the hashtag #SpookySummerStitch that I started at the beginning of the summer. And so many people continue to use it and post their Halloween stitching. I love it. I'm still seeing new charts and great stitching on all those Halloween projects. So that's really fun to witness. But this is not a Halloween stitch. My August 1st start. This is a chart that I first saw on my friend Michael's YouTube Flosstube channel. Michael has a Flosstube channel called Star Parade. He is in the UK, and he showed this chart. It's a free chart from Al Forrest Embroidery, and it's 100 owls. And he said that he was going to be stitching this in August, and I wrote him and I said, I'd love to stitch this with you. So he is actually sponsoring it as an informal stitch along using the hashtag 100 owls Sal, which is actually the same hashtag as was the original charts stitch along. So you'll see a lot from far back. But if you're stitching it, please use that hashtag, and so that we can all keep each other moving forward with it. But this is my start. It's not very much, but this is kind of like a laurel border that's going to be around the first owl. And I only put about an hour or so, maybe a few more hours into this to get it started, but I did want to start it. This is on a beautiful piece of Lugana by Zweigart. It's a 32 count Lugana in a color called limestone, and you can't see it in this light, but this is a kind of a incredibly light khaki or cream, but it has the slightest hint of green. And with the rest of this chart, it's going to be just gorgeous, and I love it, and I love the chart. It's going to take a while, but and I'm loving stitching on this particular piece of Lugana. This is great. But that was a start, and I'm excited about it. If you've not seen Michael's channel over at Star Parade, go give him a look. He is still in the 1,000 subs club, and I'm sure he would love to have you watch him. he's great. He's really great. But 100 owls, a start. Yay. As I mentioned, today is my birthday, and I will be doing a birthday start today. I wish I had this to show as a start, but today is my birthday, and I'm doing this first thing in the morning, so I won't be able to start until later. But Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery has released some new charts. And one of them is a beautiful, beautiful sampler. It's called MFE, a Zeeland sampler. And I just love it. And I've not stitched anything yet from Modern Folk Embroidery. And I thought that this, and Jacob and I have recently been chatting, and so nice. It's such a nice new friend to have in the Flosstube community. And I said, I'm going to do one of yours for my birthday start. So this is the one I'm doing. It's beautiful. I am going to do it in the called for DMC colors. He has two colorways to choose from on this particular chart. One is brighter and one is more muted. Surprisingly, I'm going to do the one that's more muted. And I've chosen to do it on, and I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited about it, a beautiful Witchelt 32 count Edinburgh linen. It's in cream. And I think that this is just going to be beautiful with this. I like this linen quite a lot. It's very different than my Basket of Cherries linen. It's a much more close weave, and I like that. I think that that's going to be so much better for my style of stitching. But it's a beautiful chart. I'm so excited to do it. And I'm excited to do it on this piece. And I think for my birthday, it'll be a nice way to remember this this day. So I guess that's more of a plan, but it will be a start today, and I'll probably be posting pictures of Instagram much later in the evening. So be on the lookout for that if you follow me on Instagram. But thank you, Jacob, for releasing those beautiful charts today, and so that I can start this. So thank you so much, and I'm very excited. This week was a wonderful week for Happy Mail. I'm so grateful and embarrassed a little bit because I it's just me. It's just who I am. I'm like, oh, I don't deserve this thing. It's too sweet. But you guys are just so lovely and so incredibly kind. I received several things, all of them touching in their own way. But I need to first talk about the happy mail from my viewer, KRISTI P, because KRISTI sent me a new friend that I maybe you saw him earlier in the broadcast. I set everything up and I left the room, and I have a feeling he was being cheeky, but I think he may have made an appearance. Sal, why don't you come up and introduce yourself to everybody? This is my friend Sal, and my viewer KRISTI P said, when I heard you talking about one day there was going to be puppets, I had to send you a puppet because she makes them. So Sal, you're just fantastic. Did you know that? Sal is going to be mute until we find a voice for him, or until I learn ventriloquism. But but he's going to help me. He's going to help me do the happy mail section, aren't you, Sal? Okay, good. First of all, is this lovely postcard that I got from my viewer, Sherry. She sent me this, and it was great. It's got wildflowers on it, and I love it. This was just a little congratulatory card for a certain amount of viewers, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sherry. The other piece, Sal, you're slacking on your job. Okay, well get the other piece. The other piece of happy mail was a chart. My friend Kathy at To Dye House stitched this, and I admired it, and she decided to pass it along to me. And this is an adorable little chart from Lizzie Kate. It's called If the Broom Fits, and I just absolutely love it. So thank you, Kathy, so much and I will be stitching this very soon. So thank you for sending it on. I'm very happy to have it. You're very distracting. You know, what is the saying? Never work with children or animals. Never work with children, animals, or puppets, right? So cute. Oh my gosh, you're going to be a hit. Yeah, just a hit. Oh, I'm entertaining myself, and he's entertaining me too. Okay, Sal, what's next? Let's see what's next. Oh, you don't have anything. I can't give it to you. I'll have to get this one myself. A viewer who would rather remain anonymous sent me an adorable needle minder. An adorable needle minder. This with little bats on it, just so cute. And I just love it. And she sent me this beautiful, can you get the fabric for me? She are you okay there? She sent me this beautiful, picture this plus, it's in, I'm sorry, you can't see it. It's 32 count, picture this plus shadow linen. I'm gonna use the magic of the screen again. Beautiful, 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 beautiful piece of linen. It's very dark, but you know what? I can see it. I can see it. You okay there? You got some fuzz in your mouth. I'm gonna love stitching on it, so I'm really excited to use this. So thank you. You know who you are. You're a dear, and I really appreciate both of those things. One of my viewers, Amy K, is a model stitcher, and she works with a designer named Frankie, who has an Etsy store. And the Etsy store is called A Wicked Stepmother. And she was very kind and sent me a couple of charts that Frankie has designed. And Frankie's store is great. It has her, she is a new designer. She only has a few designs of her own, but these two are fantastic. I love them. The first is If the Shoe Fits, which is right up my alley. And the second is called Hackberry Road, which I think is great. And I think a lot of you may really like that because people love stitching houses, and this is an adorable little chart with kind of Halloween spooky houses that you could stitch in a variety of different colors, I'm sure. But go check out her Etsy store. It's cool. She has a lot of things on there to destash, and it's really worth a look. I enjoyed it quite a lot. But thank you so much for sending for giving me those, Amy. I really do appreciate it. The last piece of happy mail is a sweet little journal that I was given by my viewer, Lisa Cicchetti. She sent me this, and she also sent me a transcript of Miss Mary Will's story so that I actually could read it and look at it. And it was just the sweetest, nicest thing that she could have done. And, you know, I open all this happy mail and I cry. So, but thank you for that, Lisa. I really appreciate it. Last week I announced that I did an impromptu giveaway. I hit 2.5 thousand subscribers, and I had received a lovely piece of happy mail that morning with some charts, and I decided to give away a little trio. So the trio was named Winter, and that was the word that you needed to use to be entered in the giveaway drawing. And the winner of the Winter Trio from last week is Cindy Lyman. So Cindy, please send me your Gmail or your email address to my Gmail address, which is in the show notes below, and I will be getting that out to you very soon. I'll be honest with all of you who have won things. I am about to go to the post office. I tend not to venture out much nowadays. And because I do live in Los Angeles, I'm in a big urban area, and I like to stay close to home right now for obvious reasons. So I'm collecting thank you notes and giveaway prizes, and I'm going to make one big trip. And so all of you will be receiving these things very, very shortly if you're wondering why you haven't yet, but that's the reason. So congratulations, Cindy. And thank you so much for watching me. I hope you enjoy the charts. I want to say a hello and a thank you to a fellow Flosstuber, to Lolly at Lollipop Stitches. Thank you for your sweet mention in your video recently. You're fantastic, and I love everything that is behind you in the room in which you film. I see a Millennium Falcon in the corner back there. And I want to say that that's a Ghostbusters Lego set behind you as well. I am so wanting to find out more about that amazing wall. But seriously, thank you. You know, you're amazing and your stitching is great, and I love your videos. So it meant a great deal for you to say that in your video. So thank you so much. And if you are not watching Lollipop Stitches, you should check her out because she's fabulous. She has great nails. Next week, there are some segments of my usual floss tubes that will return that I won't be doing today. I'll have a new Under 1,000 Subs Club. I'll have a Wheel of Stories. And we will hopefully, maybe, if things trend in the right direction, have an announcement of another giveaway if I hit 3,000 maybe in the next week. But no expectation or pressure. We'll see what happens. But that will be coming next week. So that's today's episode. I can't think of a better way to have spent part of my birthday than with you. I am loving every second of this. It is all because of the interactions that we have. And it's all because of the wonderful reciprocal nature of Flosstube. From my fellow Flosstubers' support, to the viewers' support, to the Instagram support, I mean, everything is just so wonderful. It is the greatest birthday gift I could have. So, as I always say from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so thrilled to have you with me each and every Tuesday, and I hope that you continue to enjoy the silliness and the stitching and everything in between. So you have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, and I will see you here next week. Take care. Bye-bye.